Okay, so enterprise structure is completed. What else we have, sir? Anything missing? We had seen accounts payable, accounts receivable, and also understanding of asset accounting. Asset accounting. Then we understood bank accounting, and also we understood electronic bank statement. Okay, so at last we have this GST thing. That's what I took initial only. Okay, GST VAT. So now let us understand uh, FIMM integration. So anyone has any idea what is FIMM integration? Why do we need integration? Any idea? Anyone? So initial in our initial discussion, introduction discussion, right? I mentioned SAP system is a highly integrated system. When I mention SAP highly integrated system in the sense, say for example, if you are purchasing materials from supplier, system automatically it will update your accounting also. So materials are purchased in your process, like P2P process, like purchase to pay. It starts with the purchase requisition, then purchase order, then goods receipt, invoice receipt. This is something called P2P process. This happens everything from module, metal management module. So if you are doing some business transactions in module, in the back end, the accounting will get updated automatically. That's the way we call it as integration. Okay. So so it is mentioned very clearly, material management. So in another words, we call it as inventory, right? Inventory management. Inventory. Yep. Okay, inventory management. So material management is one of the model in SAP. Now, what we understood earlier, accounts payable, right? Accounts payable process, we understood. This also includes under only, right? Accounts payable. Whenever you purchase something from the suppliers, so obviously it updates under payable. So if you're purchasing something related to materials or services from vendors, especially related to the inventory, it will get covered under accounts payable. But let us understand clearly. So under P2P process, under P2P process, we have purchase requisition, okay, purchase order. Have you heard all this? Purchase order at least. This is goods receipt. Next, invoice receipt. Okay. Earlier, we had seen invoice just we posted direct FI invoice, right? Which is F dash FB60. Do you agree? This is what we tested many times. The transaction FB60, or we have another transaction F dash 43. But this is your non-PO, non-PO. So direct FI transaction. This is non-PO invoice. But here this is your PO process in the sense purchase order process. This is non-purchase order process. Process in the sense you will have FB60 and the payment. FB F dash F dash 53, or you make payment to vendor via F F110. What is F110? What is F110? We covered banking, right? Anyone? Sir, F dash 53 is your for making payment. So we have another option. Multiple invoices, multiple vendors can be paid, right? We make payment via F110, automatic payment program. APP program, sir. Making payment. This is your invoice. This is your payment. The payment can be done manual payment or automatic payment via APP program. So non-purchase order process, you have only two transactions like invoice and payment. But PO process, purchase order process, this comes from the material management. Purchase requisition, Purchase requisition has no accounting impact, no accounting impact. Okay. But whereas purchase order, of course, there is no accounting impact. For this also no accounting impact. So goods receipt, when you receive goods from your supplier, when we receive inventory from vendor, okay, we have accounting impact is there. So what will be your accounting entry? Can anyone tell me? If you are receiving materials from the vendor, what will be? Sorry, purchases. Okay, somewhat correct. Inventory, inventory, inventory debit, and GRIR account. In SAP, we have one concept called GRIR account. I will tell you why we use GRIR account. So this is at the time of goods receipt. Okay, at the time of invoice receipt. Now this GRIR account will get debited, and your vendor account or supplier vendor both are same. This will get credited. This is getting debited. So this is getting nullified. This is created as open item account. Okay. So at the time of goods receipt, we are posting with inventory debit and GRR account credit. When I say inventory, we are goods receipt against purchase order. So this is your inventory raw material account. Okay. Now, why we are getting this GRR account into picture? Because, and that also we creating as an open item account. The reason is until the invoice is received, we are creating, this will show as an open item. You are receiving goods, but you are not received invoice. So that's the reason. So until the invoice is not received, so until that time when we received invoice, right? This will show as open item. Just imagine you have received the materials, but you have received the materials from the vendor, but you have not received the invoice copy from the vendor. So what happens in your books of accounts? The GRIR account will show as an open item. Once you receive the invoice receipt, then we'll clear the GRIR by posting invoice receipt as GRIR debit and vendor account as credit. Is it clear? Okay. And again, normal process after invoice receipt, what we'll do? Payment, right? Payment. Again, it's your wish. Either you'll make payment via either F-53 or F110. So in SAP, this is something ME21N. I don't remember the T code. This is MyGo and invoice receipt. This is Myro transaction, and this one anyhow I mentioned here. So these are the T codes. Okay, this is the process for the purchase order. So whenever you purchase or whenever you if you are following P2P process, so this will come into picture: purchase requisition, purchase order, goods receipt, invoice receipt, and payment. Any questions, at least from this perspective? When accounts payable comes in this process, when accounts payable come into this process, where exactly that point, particular point comes into accounts payable? At the time, at the time of invoice receipt, because vendor, right? Accounts payable vendor. Do you agree? Okay. So this is P2P process from the perspective. So non-PO direct FI transactions normally using a basic star F-43 and payment. But if you are like following with this is your purchase order process. Now coming back to the configurations, yes, we need to do the configuration settings perspective. Since we are the FI consultants, right, we are not going to define right? So in real time you're not working on module configuration settings, but only from the accounting perspective, GL account perspective, will be discussing with them. We will assign respective GL accounts for the inventory transactions. The account determination, the GL account determination will be done by us. Other than GL account determination, yes, all the configuration settings like enterprise structure settings and the definition, assignment, all related settings will be done by MM consultants, not by us. So what I will do, since we are in the training server, so I will do all MM settings. We will learn some few MM settings also now, but in real time it will be done by MM consultants. Okay, so now let us understand creating the while creating the configuration settings itself. I will tell you. I'll explain the each and every setting over there itself. So come back to the our Excel sheet. Even I don't remember the path for each setting since these are MM settings. So first is FIMM integration. Define create plant. So what is plant exactly? The plant is it could be a factory plant where the goods or services are produced. Okay. So OX10. If you want to see the path, you have to search it. So plant enterprise structure settings and the definition. This comes under either logistics general. Yes. Okay, or it will be under if you're not getting. So see, all your MM settings comes under logistic general and logistics execution metal management. Okay, so logistic general, this is your fastest setting. As I mentioned earlier, these are done by MM consultants, not us, because we are the FICO consultants. So MM team will define all these settings. So what I will do, I'll just copy some standard. So I'll just copy, this is India only. Okay, fine. I'll copy to AM01 for easy identification. I'll just giving the plant name also AM01. I'll just change this one, plant for AM01. So AM01 is sorry, plant is nothing but it is a place where the goods are produced. Okay, services are produced. Any questions on this one? If you want, you can change the details. Okay, copy. So I don't want to keep these names. I want to change my name. I mean to AM01 company code. Amazon, right? So let be all these details. If you want to, we can change it. Not an issue. Okay, this is what we defined for our company code AM01. Any questions on this setting? Plant? All right. This is our group. This is your first setting. I have created plant. It's a simple step. Just I copied from the other plant parameter from the standard one. Okay, if I double click, you will get all the details here. So back. So I have defined one plant. What is your next step? Storage location. Storage location. Where is storage location here? Uh, Maybe define location. No, this is not location, I think. Comes under logistics execution. Not seen here also. So this could be under material management. Yes, storage location. So if you want the T codes, we can get it from here. So you can see it here. OX092. Okay. Click on here. What is the plant we define? AM01. So what is storage location? Yes. So in a typical in a factory plant, definitely you'll have some raw materials. So you will store your raw materials or semi-finished goods or finished goods, right? So all these materials will be stored in a respective location. So this also just I'll give the same identification. Okay. So this is the storage location for AM01. So let it this will keep it as it is. Continue. So what we defined here, we defined one storage location for Amazon plant. Okay, come back to the again the next step, purchase organization. What is purchase organization? So in a company, definitely some one department will be there, right? Purchase organization, purchasing department. The purchasing department will take care of all purchasing activities. So here also in SAP, we'll create one organization unit for purchasing. So OX08, but anyhow, it is there here only. So I'll create it from here. Purchase organization. Sir, are you understanding? So new entries. So just to give identification, some purchase organization is Amazon purchase organization. So PO purchase organization for Amazon company, which is AM01. Validity, keep it as valid only. Click on save. So what we defined till now, we defined plant, we defined storage location, and also we defined purchase organization. So three settings has been defined. Now, so three settings has been defined. Now assignment of plant to company code, assignment of storage location to the no storage location here. Keep it. So it is already mentioned under plan. Not required. So plant is assigned to the company code and purchase organization assigned to the company code and also assigning plant to the purchase organization. That's what I see here. So let us start with the first one, plant to company code. So back. So close this definition. Now come back to the assignment. So logistic general. So assign plant to company code. New entries. So company code is AM01 and also we created plant also same identification as AM01. Press enter. Now we assign the plant to company code. Continue. Back. So now what is another one we need to assign? So come back to the material logistics execution. Nothing is there here. Material management. So here okay. Assign purchase organization to company code and purchase order to plant. Both are there here only. So position and your purchase organization is AM01. So this company code also AM01. Press enter save. It's a simple, right? Pretty straightforward. You're just linking the company code and entities. Plant also when it assigned to the purchase organization. Position, I don't think we have any new entries, right? So go with the new entries. Purchase organization is AM01 and also plant also is AM01. So continue. So what we defined till now, we defined a definition and also assignment. Sorry, any questions here? Understanding of any configuration setting? If you don't understand, is it clear? So now we'll understand the next steps. So attributes of material type. See, for any product, you need raw material to make a product, right? So not only raw materials. See, you have different types of materials like raw material or semi-finished good material or finished good material. That's what SAP has also provided. Material type, raw material and semi-finished good product, semi-finished product material and finished product material. So we have different type of materials. These are provided, this FERT, this is ROH and also HALB has been provided by SAP only. We need to copy the standard material type and we need to give some identification. For time being, now what we'll do, we'll copy this one. Position ROH raw material, copy material type ID. So give some identification with the raw material type. Okay, description, save, select and double click on quantity and value, updating position, valuation area, plant. Material type, quantity, updating, value, updating, save. So this you have to give all these details. So we'll see. I don't know the path. Sorry for that. If you get it, if at all, if you find some path, just update the path here. OMS2 slash O OMS2. If you try it in Google, you will get the path, sir. So go to the position. As I mentioned, ROH is a standard raw material type provided by SAP. Copy this, click on here. I mean, just copy the material. So what I'll do, I will give same identification with AROH. A means Amazon, Amazon raw material, raw materials for AM01. Click on copy, press enter. 184 entries has been copied. Keep it. So go to the otherwise first click on save, continue, and also we need one more thing here. We need to position. The material type is Amazon ROH. Select your Amazon ROH related, click on quantity and value updating, go to the position, and this is your valuation, this is your valuation area is plant. Okay, plant is valuation area. AM01 presenter, select your plant valuation area and material type, Amazon ROH, which is Amazon raw material. Quantity updating, value updating, save it. Okay, quantity and value. So when you're purchasing materials, right, so materials could be in terms of value, definitely in terms of quantity also. That's the reason we are updating the values. So back, but all, as I mentioned earlier, all these settings are done by whom? Consultants. So wherever FI comes, I'll tell you where FI will be involved in the configuration settings from the perspective. So this is done. Just stop me if you are not able to understand this these settings. Okay, maintain posting periods, company code, material management. This is something also will be done by them, but they will ask one question to FI team. OM SY transaction. So if you look at here, we have to maintain financial year, current period, financial year, fiscal period. So position AM01. We are in which period, sir? Anyone? 2025. We are in which period? Which period, sir? April, May, June, July. 04. Okay, that's correct. And that's fine. Just press enter. And you can see, so system automatically updates the same current financial year, previous period. This is your previous period. Okay, and this is the last period of previous financial year. Okay, this is your allowed back postings, allow posting to previous period. This one, disallow back posting generally. So if you want to disallow, then it will disallow. If you want to allow previous, then you can put it this, you can activate this one. So save, continue. Again this, so usually team will not understand what is this periods, right? You have to say that this is financial year related transaction. So basically we need to give these details. They'll ask us, or else if they know, they will update it here, otherwise they will not update here. This is a financial, basically financial year, year and period, not calendar year, financial year. Position, sorry, that is fine. So what we have done, we have created OMSY also. Now let us creation of plant parameters. Creation of plant parameters. So basically every plant has some backend parameters. Okay. So let us copy OMI8. OMI8. So click on copy. Copy from standard. We'll see whatever we have. Actually, we already copied initially the first step. So this can be done initially. This is fine, but we'll see. So press enter. So let us copy from the standard one, 1710. Plant parameters are we already given, but we'll see. Copy S, click on continue. Okay, so all 70 standard plant, all the relevant parameters has been copied to M01. Okay, so this one we'll discuss later. Default values of tax codes for invoice verification. Okay, OMR2. OMR2, new entries. What is our company code, sir? AM01. And this one, default values for AM01. So for now, I'm just updating with 0% tax code. Later, while posting the transaction, default V0 is not accepting. So we don't have this one. What we have? Let me just update this one, V1. Later we'll change it. We'll see. Copy. So as of now, just given the our relevant GST related one tax code here, V1. So what we have done here, just we defaulted the tax codes for defaults domestic and unplanned delivery cost. So this is fine. So if you look at here in OMR2 default values here, we I have assigned V0 V0. It's up to you. But if you don't find V0 V0 tax code, you have to create one more tax code with V0 V0. I mean basically 0% tax code. But if you have already have the tax codes, just assign it. Since we already created right GST tax codes, just assign whatever the tax code you want to assign it. Okay. Anyhow, this is something done by consultant, not by us. So this is fine, but they will request one tax code from us. GR tolerance group. So we need to define some limits here. OMC0. So what it is saying? Company code, tolerance key, copy, change company code. Do not check. Repeat the same tolerance for B2 VP. Basically B1, B2 and VP. We need to copy some standard parameter. OMC0. OMC0. So this is something related to goods receipt tolerance limits. So let us copy from existing one B1, B2, VP. Copy it. I just copied one existing company code for the B1, B2, BP. So you can change the company code to our company code AM01. Do not check, do not check. Click on copy. So this is another one. Second entry AM01. Do not check, do not check. Click on copy. This is a third entry AM01. Do not check, and this is also do not check. Click on copy. So basically what this transaction is related to is your price and quantity variances. Okay, this is also will be done by team. So we have assigned this one GR tolerance limits B1, B2 and VP. Now the fourth row number for 439. This is for the goods receipt level. This is for the price variance level. So here also PE and AC also we need to assign. The transaction code I have not mentioned here. Purchasing purchasing purchase order set a tolerance limit for price variance. So where exactly it is, sir? Material management, not under definition, under here material management and under purchasing, and also I see purchase order set tolerance limit for price variance. This is the one. OMEU is the correct one. We'll see. Set tolerance limits for price variance. We'll see, sir. OMEU is the same one. Slash OMEU. It is not working. That's the reason I have mentioned as um, path. It is not working. This is not working. EOM EU. We'll try EOM EU. EOM EU. This is also not working. 0 MEU. It's not working. Basically, this transaction code, it's not the transaction code. This is not the transaction code. That's the reason I have mentioned path. So execute it. So this also P and AC, right? You can just select your any uh, company code, copy. You can also change the 1000 to AM01. Do not check, do not check. Click on copy. This also AM01. Do not check, do not check. Click on copy. So this also something related to price variance and cash discount variances. Click on save. Continue. So what we defined, sir, till now we define defaulted taxes and also tolerance for goods receipt and the tolerance limits for price variances. We have one more here, tolerance limits for invoice verification, PP and BD, OMR6. OMR6. So someone has locked the transaction. So SM12, remove this one, click on search. So select all, click on delete, delete. So come back. So we need to OMR6, we need to this setting, invoice verification, tolerance limits. So here also I'll consider something. So here we have many are there tolerance keys, but just to do it only for the required ones, PP and BD, not for everything. So PP, what is PP? PP is price variance and BD is for small differences. Click on. So here you can change the company code to M01. Do not check, do not check, do not check, do not check. Click on copy. So this also uh, M01. Do not check. Click on copy. So BD and PP M01. Okay, click on save. So this is for the price variances for the at the invoice level. Now define automatic status change. I don't have the path OMRV. So new entries company code set correct invoice to be completed OMRV slash O OMRV. So position and Amazon company code press enter set so this is not here, so click on new entries AM01 and click on activate it. Continue. What is the another setting, sir? So here, so now understand from here. Okay, this is something important from the accounting perspective, but anyhow this is also done from basically this is also done from MM team only, but it's better to understand from here. OMWM select valuation grouping active OMWM slash O OMWM. See, so the material valuation, the calculation prices, right? In asset accounting, we evaluate, right, precision. At the same time, in material management, we will evaluate the materials. But valuation, the quantity and the price, all these values will be evaluated based on at the company code level or at the plant level. You have an option. Okay. So um, if you're treating valuation area as company code, then your valuation area will be always company code. If you are treating valuation area as plant, so it will be plant valuation area. So I will tell you what is valuation group code, grouping code according to, I mean, as per our, I mean, while discussing on the configuration settings. As of now, just activate valuation group code active. It is already active mode only. So no need to do any changes here. Come back. So just make sure that your valuation grouping code should be plant level. Select valuation grouping code active. This is already by default it is active only, but if anyone's done something else, then you just make it to active. OMWD here, OMWD, OMWD. Here we need to understand now valuation. So position, so our valuation is plant level AM01. Continue. So it is already copied here. Company code that is also fine. Chart of accounts also fine. Valuation grouping code, so just give 0001 for standard valuation grouping code. Continue. So what is valuation grouping code, sir? Now there are few things that you should know. Each material movement in SAP will be defined by movement types. Each material movement will be defined by movement types. In SAP we have movement types for each movement. Just imagine you are purchasing materials from suppliers. That is one movement type. You are issuing materials to the production department for manufacturing the products. That is one movement type. You are issuing goods to you are issuing, I mean, finished product material to customer. That is one movement type. Okay. So there are the different movement types at the time of purchase requisition. Sorry, at the time of purchase order against purchase requisition against your material, right? So this will trigger. So okay, at the time of goods receipt you are receiving materials against one movement type called 101, which is goods receipt. This is movement type number. So this is one thing that you should know, material movement types. Second thing, valuation area. Now as I mentioned earlier, either you can create valuation area by plant or by company code. So in our case what we have defined by company code, sorry, by plant level. So usually all the manufacturing entities will be created by plant only. Third, so all materials are validated based on plant. Third one, valuation grouping code. So valuation group, so valuation area, valuation group. That's it, right? Say for example, you have three plants A, B, C. So I can create, okay, for these two, I want to create one valuation grouping code. Say for example, uh, valuation grouping 01. Okay, you have one more thing, D. For these two plants, it is valuation grouping code 1. This is one, right? Okay, this is one. How to bring the value center? Okay, this is valuation. Fine. This is another one. VG02. So this is what they define different valuation grouping codes assigning to the different valuation areas. Basically, valuation area in the sense plant only. Different. You have A and B plant, C and D plant. So these two plants belongs to this valuation grouping code. C and D belongs to this valuation grouping code. However, this is created by MM team only, but you should be aware of these understanding at least terminologies, right? So and also we have uh, valuation class. So valuation class is defined by different raw material types. For example, raw material, semi-finished good raw material, not raw material but semi-finished material. You have finished material, so finished product. These are differentiated by valuation class. If so, I'll just give us some identification. 100, this one 200, this one 300. Some identification for valuation class where you are differentiating the materials for the valuation class. Okay, and also we have transaction keys. What are transaction keys? Where we assign the GL accounts. So GL accounts are assigned to these transaction keys based on valuation class and based on valuation class, valuation, uh, valuation grouping code. If you have defined this one, then you have to assign accordingly. And we have one more thing, account modifier. Okay, anyhow, while assigning the GL accounts, we'll understand more clearly. Account modifier. So the GL accounts are triggered based on these combinations, and GL accounts are assigned under transaction keys. So for example, if you look at here, so this inventory raw material assigned to the transaction key called BSX. So here we assign the GL account for inventory account. For GRIR account, we assign under transaction key called WRX. Okay, this is how system determine the GL accounts based on the transaction keys combination with valuation class or valuation grouping code or account modifier. Not every time this will be used. Sometimes, so depends upon the transaction and the business transaction. This will be identified accordingly. All will be configured accordingly. So metal movement will be defined by movement types. Valuation area nothing but plant or company code. Valuation grouping code, you are grouping the plants or company codes. Valuation class, you are differentiating the materials. Transaction keys, which are used to derive the GL account. Any questions here? Huh, okay, definitely. You can come back to me. Okay. So I have just as of now, we have sent just a standard valuation grouping code. So go back to the X spreadsheet we defined. So we define it, it is so this is we already defined 3001 as a standard grouping code valuation class. Now as I mentioned, valuation class semi-finished goods, raw material, finished goods, raw material, semi-finished. So all are same again. So we have to define under OMSK. OMSK. So first starts with account category reference. So here new entries. So I'll give this is account category reference. So what I'll do, I'll just give the same AROH. So it is very easy to remember. Amazon uh, raw material for ACR account category reference. Okay, click on save. Just identification. Come back. So come back here. Valuation class. This also new entries. Valuation class also I will give as AROH as valuation class for the raw material. Account category reference we already given as AROH. This also you can give description. This is for the valuation class. Valuation class for Amazon. So not sufficient. We'll keep it as it is. Click on save. Give me a minute. Okay, come back to the screen. So we have defined valuation class also and linked it to the account category reference. So third one, we are linking metal type to the account category reference. So here, go to the position. We already defined one metal type. Okay, what is the metal type we defined? Anyone? It's the same one, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm long 5 mg. Hmm. Hmm. I'm long. Okay. So here we defined as what we defined, sir. AROH only, right? So here, see here. AM01 AR metal type also raw material type. So this has to be changed to account category reference to AROH only. This also we had given the same identification. So it will be easy. Okay, so come back. So what we have defined account category reference also AROH, valuation class also AROH, and metal type account. So everything have defined as AROH, even metal type also. So it is very easy to link to remember also. So ROH is nothing but raw material type. Just added Amazon. So this is fine. We defined only so a raw material perspective. Okay. So change movement types. So this is nothing to do. I mean just to observe. I mentioned here only observe the transaction, how it behaves in SAP system. Observe. Okay. So OMJJ, what you will do? OMJJ transaction code. Try to understand movement type. Click on continue. So while when we receive goods from the supplier at the time of goods receipt transaction, it is 101. Click on continue. Don't get confused because it will have n number of fields and everything. Short text. So you can see some short text for these are the different business transactions. Okay, you can see the movement types. Under 101, you have sub transactions also. Hundreds of transactions are there. Okay, so allowed transactions. So for this movement up, this is these transactions are allowed. Here also you see something around 73 are there. So this is this you can just go through if you want. Hundreds are there. So this is only observation transaction. Just check couple of times. So here Now, creation of GL accounts. Now we are not going to define, we'll define according to the transaction error. Okay, then you will understand at what time, at what error, what exactly system will ask you the GL account. So remove, I mean, ignore the GL accounts for now. We'll do that, we'll create the GL accounts as per the transactions. This is also fine. We'll do at the time of posting. Now material master record. Okay. So material master record we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Is that okay? So